Hey everybody, it's here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. In the previous episode, we began exploring Snowhead Temple, and in today's episode, we're going to finish it off once and for all, starting with rolling across this area and whee! Wee Let's go over here. And the next area we're going to be going towards is inside this door. Ooh. Alright, so we'll be facing Wizrobe again, and this leads to a bit of a problem that I have with this game. The thing about Majora's Mask is, it's a pretty great game and has some very creative bosses, but it reuses some of the mid-bosses way too much. We're going to be fighting Wizrobe a lot throughout this game, and sure, some of the strategies may be a little bit different, like in this battle. There's more areas for him to hide, and there's even a higher area that the Goron Link can't climb onto normally, which we need to use a bow and arrow for, or something like that. So that's something that's definitely a bit of a problem. It's kind of like Super Mario Sunshine, how half the bosses in that game are reused. But what I do appreciate about this version is that the Nintendo 3DS makes it a bit more obvious which one is the real one, because it's a bit hard to tell in the Nintendo 64 version. But now, we can go over here, and what could it be, 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 what could it be? You have creepy glitchy eyes! You got the boss key. Alrighty then. I thought there was a deco flower right here, but apparently isn't. I think I'm thinking of the thing that's a little bit higher. We go over here. And we destroy these snowballs again, because yay, respawning game assets. With nowhere left to go, but forward. And as you count Stray Fairy stuff, which we'll be taking care of eventually. With the boss key in hand, it's now time to take on the boss. Because we have the key. And we're fighting the boss with the boss key. Yes, we're using the key itself against the boss. I'm being very redundant, aren't I? Master Mechanical Monster, Goht! What kind of name is Goht? It's like, the Zelda series is pretty well known for having memorable bosses. Like, you have Goma, and Adalwa, and Goht. What kind of name is Goht? I don't know, it's just something that's always found amusing. But, this is the primary gameplay gimmick of the Goht battle. We're using Goron form to track down the eyeball, and then we can shoot the eyeball with a bow and arrow. Certainly it's pretty neat. As the battle continues onward, then you're going to want to be careful because it'll be doing more attacks to try and hurt you, like it'll kick up those boulders, so you want to be off to the side and not directly behind it. It'll also kick up some electrical currents, which will shock you if you're not careful. And it'll also occasionally fall over to the side like that. We don't have our sword, so we need to use a bow and arrow. Also, I'm going to switch over to the bomb screen real quick to demonstrate something that's pretty interesting. When I was a kid, I always imagined this to be like an endless hallway area, kind of like how in Super Mario 64, the endless staircase towards the end of the game. And I was a little surprised, admittedly, when I played this version and saw the map and realized, oh, it's a circular room. So I don't know what I was thinking when I was a kid. Alright, that gives me a perfect chance to go back to the screen. Hooray for changing screens in the middle of recording. You know, the funny thing is, prior to starting this Let's Play, I was still using Windows Movie Maker for my primary editing program, and I kind of worked out the screen layout based on the limitations of that editing program. What? I've never seen you use that attack before. Anyway, I was basing the screen layout based on limitations of Windows Movie Maker, which is why I'm able to edit the screen while I'm actively recording stuff. But since a couple of videos ago, I've switched to using the uh, new editing program called HitFilm. This is a editing program that I believe the Otaku artist and Garman also use as well. But this is kind of like a beginner's version of Sony Movie Studio or Sony Vegas or something like that. It has all the has a majority of the cool features you can see on those things, like editing multiple screens and things like that. But if I had used HitFilm before starting this Let's Play, I probably would have planned it out a bit differently. Because I could probably do some more fancy editing tricks with the screens and things like that. But I really like how this system works, how I can just add the two screens while I'm actively recording, so I don't have to do too much work while editing. That may sound a little bit lazy, but we're already working on Splatoon 2, which is already stressful enough when it comes to editing. So, one thing that really bothers me about Goht, and this is a really disturbing detail, so I'm going to be vague as possible, but look at where the bomb is coming from on Goht itself. Why would they do that? That's just weird. But now we've defeated the masked mechanical monster. I've been playing Xenoblade too much. I said Mechon instead of mechanical. That was funny. But now we can pick up the heart piece. Whee! You seize the Goht's remains. In doing so, you press the button too fast to raid accidentally. What exactly are all of you? Guardians. Guardians? So, you're protective gods? That's why you're in the temples, but why are the protective gods... Oh wait, are you listening to me? Hey! Wait! And with that, we're ending this video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. And until next time, lead gear to you.